Okay, what up? It's your boy T-Bird here in the reaction. About the reaction, I try not to look away. Kill count reaction to a first Friday 13 to a special bonus one. What I really want to react to after doing the ranked one, but I decided I want to do some reaction to the couple of kill counts for Friday 13th. So I picked the top two. The top one, number one, and then decided at the last minute to do number two, just because it's my favorite it's my favorite one. So I was hoping if that was number one, I would have been my favorite. I would have just did that, but they made number four, final chapter, the top ranked one, but at least that was number two, so I decided to do both. So this one I might react to is called Never Hike Alone. I guess it's supposed to be like a internet horror internet film of parody of Friday 13th, Jason. I might be totally wrong. That's what I'm thinking. I'm guessing somewhat. From what I heard, somewhat. I might be totally wrong. But other than that, it's looks close to Friday 13th. I was really going to just do that since I already react to already watched the trail combo. I did them just for y'all. So, without further ado, this is Never Hike Alone Kill Count, and this will be still a Trying to Look Away.
Movie footage used in the kill count is owned entirely by the copyright holders. Dead Meat makes no claim of ownership and simply uses the footage for purposes of education, commentary, and criticism under fair use. Please support filmmakers and the art of filmmaking by watching Never Hike Alone in its entirety on home media or streaming services where available. Happy Friday the 13th, and welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at Never Hike Alone, the Friday the 13th fan film released in 2017 by Vincent DiSanti. I met Vincent at Monsterpalooza this year and interviewed him in my video covering the event. He told me that with Never Hike Alone, he wanted to make a back-to-basics style Friday the 13th film and make Jason scary again, instead of the more ridiculous campy stuff that the original series delved into near the end. Working between 9-to-5 jobs with a budget raised on Kickstarter, DiSanti and his crew persevered to bring the Friday franchise into the modern era of GoPros and vloggers. And as a reward for all his hard work, DiSanti himself got to play Jason Voorhees, or at least share the hockey mask with stunt performer Brian Forrest. Never Hike Alone is actually available for you to watch entirely, right now, for free on YouTube. It's less than an hour long, so click that button up there and check it out. And while it may not have as high a body count as the feature films that inspired it, it is successful as an atmospheric suspense thriller with some real nice fan service near the end. So let's celebrate Friday the 13th by taking a trip back to Camp Crystal Lake and counting up some more kills.
It is related to it then, okay.
The movie begins with a whole bunch of drone shots that really help sell the professional quality of this amateur film. Driving into the woods near that beautiful blue Crystal Lake is this vlogger Kyle McLeod, who's going on an arduous hike. I like him, because he's not afraid to troll his fans a little bit.
So let me catch any of you noobs out here. That's right. Looking at you, Hikerman 5000.
Haha, yeah, Hikerman 5000. Just kidding, dude. You know we love you. With his trademark sign-off, Kyle out, Mr. McLeod fucking bolts away from his car and hardcore Henrys himself through the woods in a rockin' montage eerily similar to one I made a few years ago about Tough Mudder. He reaches his first checkpoint and sets up camp for the night, doing some SpawnCon inside his tent for a Day of Defeat style collapsible shovel, even though he's not a true believer in the product he's hawking.
Seems like a piece of shit to me.
Unlike when I advertise Shudder or Crypt TV, which are products I enjoy so much, I'm giving them a free shout out right here. Get that promo, y'all! The next morning, while brushing his teeth with some water he'd better hope isn't tapewormy, he sees a trail marker that isn't on any of his maps. And as you'd expect a hiker with a GoPro to do, he sets out to explore it. The trail takes him to a sign that says no trespassing, but as we see in the background while Kyle records a vlog, it looks like Jason don't think the rules apply to him. As Kyle decides to cut through the area anyway to get to the lake, there's an unlikely scare when Jason appears right next to him, only to promptly disappear in the next cut. This must be zombie teleporting Jason from the 6th or 7th movie onward. Kyle shakes off his heebie-jeebies and trespasses anyway, eventually getting to the infamous Crystal Lake. Oh, look at that little island in there. I bet that'd make for a great mama shrine shack. With the sun setting in a few hours, Kyle decides to cut up some firewood and make a camp, and that's when he trips over a sign telling him exactly where he is. He finds Camp Crystal Lake itself, and inside one of the cabins is a calendar from 1980 saying it's June 13th. Yeah, I know, that's a Friday the 13th, but it's also apparently a nudie magazine Magazine Day! Nudie Magazine Day! Aside from old-fashioned 2D smut, Kyle also finds a ribbon with the number 6 on it, hanging in front of a shower stall that's very bloody on the inside. The ribbons Kyle finds are all crime scene markers of the kills we know and love from the original film. A nice little feature for us fans. This marker corresponds to Marcy, who went from singing in her underwear to dead via head axing in the blink of an eye. In the main lodge of the camp, Kyle pokes around in the fireplace and knocks down a dead animal. A cool match cut takes us outside where he disposes of the body, and after doing that, he sees another one of those ribbon tags, marked number 3 and corresponding with good old body oil Steve Christie, who was killed with one of those just off-screen gut stabs. Kyle decides to make camp inside the cabin, where he vlogs and tells his McLeod crew fans all about the backstory of Jason Voorhees, a tale he learned from his older brother when he was a kid. He takes his camera out to explore the camp some more, and while he's walking around looking like he's Thor with a blowout, he finds another ribbon marked with a 2. And by now, he's also figured out that these ribbons are marking crime scenes, so he's not too surprised by what he finds when he opens the door. It's a bunk bed with a bunch of bacon juice all over it, because this is the site of one of the franchise's most iconic kills and the first ever Golden Chainsaw recipient, the arrow through the neck that killed Jack in the original. In the kitchen where Crazy Ralph once played peekaboo, Kyle finds another ribbon with a 5 on it. This one's the toughest to tell, but judging by the rope on the ground nearby, it's gotta be Brenda, who was tossed through the window wrapped in a blanket of ropes. A banging noise takes him upstairs, which, like, going upstairs and following creepy noises, Kyle? Are you even trying to survive this thing? But the noise ends up being an innocuous second-story door to nowhere that Kyle explains used to be used for getting heavy furniture upstairs. Cool, Kyle. Want to explain this messy sleeping pit that has a birthday card on it addressed to a special boy? Or how about this rotting Pamela head tucked under that blanket? Yep, Kyle has stumbled right into Jason's lair, and the J-Man appears behind him and takes his new victim, gift-wrapped in a bedsheet, and tosses him out that second-story doorway. Then Jason grabs a nearby axe and hops down to do some stalking. Without even bending his knees on the landing? You're gonna feel that shit when you're older, Jason. Kyle is able to narrowly avoid a lineage-ending injury, and then we get our first look at this movie's Jason, nicknamed Ghost Jason by fans. As Kyle feebly fights him, I've gotta say, Ghost Jason's looking pretty good. Must have found a new hockey mask though, since this one's missing the Part 3 axe slash. Eventually, Kyle is able to get the hell away from this masked maniac, who heads back inside to retrieve the weapon he gets an attack bonus with, his trusty old machete. Jason stalks Kyle through the woods on some heavy fucking feet. This guy's stomping around the woods like he's Lucille Ball making wine. Eventually, Kyle trips over the no trespassing sign and really messes his leg up. Break the rules, suffer the consequences, my man. Still, he's able to evade Jason and run off, disappearing into the woods as dusk falls. An injured Kyle finds a quiet moment to speak into his GoPro, where he does the usual tragically doomed person with a camera routine, namely telling whoever's watching what happened and leaving an I love you message for his parents. With that out of the way, he heads back to the camp because he figures he won't survive his injury without the medkit from his pack. On his way there, he sees another ribbon, number 4, hanging over a doorway, marking the location where Bill was found as a human pincushion by Alice. He gets inside and gets his first aid kit, then hides from the Jasonsaurus Rex. Seriously, those footsteps are so heavy, he's probably got the whole of Crystal Lake rippling like a glass of water. Kyle fixes himself up underneath a table in a self-stitching sequence that really shows off the excellent work by special effects makeup artist Kelsey Burke. On his way out, Kyle has to hide from Jason like he's playing Friday the 13th the game. And just like in that game, hiding proves to be fucking useless, as Jason just smashes through the door and starts clomping around to find him. Jason eventually finds Kyle with a jump scare and a missed opportunity machete stab through the door. Kyle fends him off with the door itself, but only for a moment before we get a fight with a couple of nice pro wrestling beats to it. First, Kyle hits the big man with a friggin' chair, and then Jason comes back with an Undertaker / Kane style chokeslam through the table. By God, this ain't a TLC match! When Jason goes to grab the machete for his signature finisher move, Kyle takes the opportunity to run off, but because of his injured leg, Jason catches up to him no problem, and they begin a fight for the ages, machete versus collapsible shovel thing. Eventually, Jason slashes Kyle's arm, and Kyle grabs a nearby rock to hit Jason in the face with and knock his mask off. Let's see what this Jason looks like behind it. Well, as expected, it's a face only a deranged mother could love. Kyle runs off in fear while a very embarrassed Jason grabs his mask to cover up that ghoulish visage of his. Kyle finds the axe in the tree and arms himself, then applies a little more first aid to his new wound. Jason tries to sneak up behind him, but fat chance with those loud-ass moon shoes you're wearing, dude. Kyle spins around in an attack maneuver, but the look on his face says it didn't go so well, because turns out Jason landed a machete hit straight in Kyle's chest. But don't call the match just yet, because there's some nasty blood oozing out of J-Man's hockey mask. That's because Kyle also landed a hit with his weapon, so both of them fall to the ground together, threatening to end this skirmish in a draw. But turns out neither of them are out for the count. The machete stab was at least partially stopped by Kyle's handy guidebook, so even though it got him a little bit, it could be a lot worse, dude. Then, after Kyle gets up to leave, he of course looks back at his axe-ridden foe to see the undead man-child is still ready to rumble.
Fuck this.
With that, he takes off into the woods once more, right as Jason rises up from the ground. Morning comes, and that means it's time for a good lake washing. Kyle sees one final ribbon, marked with the number 1, signifying the beachside decapitation of Mama Voorhees herself, the kill that set our silent but deadly serial murderer in action. Then Jason recreates his first appearance in the series when he jumps out of the lake and grabs a hold of Kyle's head. In an excellent moment, with some more great effects, Jason just straight up crushes Kyle's head with his hands with an awesomely disgusting crunch. Turns out to be a hallucination, so I won't put it on the count, but serious props again to Kelsey Burke and the fake head she made for this scene. Look at it, that thing is dope! Like I said, Kyle wakes up from the hallucination to 2 paramedics, this nice lady Denny and a dude named,
Axel.
Huh? Oh, hey!
What? Another medical dude named Axel? But is he pervy like the one we all know and love?
Damn, look at the beard on that vagina!
He is. Nice. And if you think that's good fan service, hold on to your butts. Because the third paramedic in this movie is Tommy frickin' Jarvis. That's right, motherfuckers. Tom Matthews from Part 6 Jason Lives reprises his iconic role to be T-Jarves once again. And as he calls the situation into dispatch, he's greeted by an old friend.
Son of a bitch.
He's yanked out of the ambulance, and the other paramedics hear him struggling, so Axel goes out to help him, only to reappear a minute later with the axe in his gut, finally allowing us to start the kill count proper. Hey, sometimes movies wait until the end for the kills. Remember Get Out? And we double up the count right away, after Denny is pulled out of the ambulance by Jason and given an off-screen death that we can hear involves a whole lot of body beating against the ambulance. Since he's on a roll, Jason stands in front of the open ambulance doors and appears to be ready for a hat trick with Kyle, who now looks like Assistant Director Wes from Nailed It. But Jason is stopped by the formerly Feldman Tommy.
Hey, Meganhead! Remember me, asshole?
Tommy takes off and saves Kyle's life, leaving a very unsatisfied Jason behind with only a pair of kills to his name. The movie ends with Jason slowly walking after the ambulance. I'm sure you'll catch up eventually, J-Man, don't worry. In the meantime, how many kills did this ghost Jason nail down?
That's probably the lowest one.
I know the answer, but let's get to the numbers anyway. Yeah,
that's
dead
probably
meat out.
That's probably the lowest kill count ever.
Only 2 people died in Never Hike Alone, but hey, this thing was more about ambience than bloodshed. The kills had 1 lady and 1 pervy dude, giving the genders of the victims an even 1-to-1 ratio, literally. With a runtime of 54 minutes, we had a kill on average every 27 minutes. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Axel, since his was more on screen and had more blood, of course. That means dull machete for lamest kill goes to Denny, who was slammed against the ambulance off screen, but at least her kill was confirmed by that shot at the end. And that's it. Never Hike Alone came out in 2017, and as of today, Ghost Jason and Kyle MacLeod are being added to the Friday the 13th puzzle game, an illustrious honor that's bestowed upon only the best folks of horror. Hope you enjoyed this Friday the 13th treat. We'll get back to dinosaurs tomorrow. Until then, I'm James A. Janice. This has been The Kill Count. Thanks a lot for watching this special.
This was good. This was actually good. Definitely better than some things killing. But this was awesome. Like, despite that, only had 2 kill counts to the very end. The whole story, everything was awesome. Nice little fan film right there. And you brought back the dude that played Tommy Jarvis, which was really awesome. And he survived. I thought it was Tommy was a goner, but he hit that line. Hey, asshole, Madigan. Hey, Maggie, you remember me, asshole? Yeah, that was awesome right there. Oh man, that was awesome. And right after I watched the 6-1 where he came from. Kind of ironic though. I think it was destined me to watch them 3 videos all together. But other than that, I mean, I wasn't gonna bother to watch Nuke beginning because that was horrible. But if you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's your boy T-Bear signing off. One love.